They ever figure out government.
Yeah, just give me a second here. We gotta adjust something.
Like ballot content. Right. Got all signed. Got the video. Yep. Like the. Yeah.
It's supposed to take care of it. And it's, I think it's, it is.
Especially when it's one of the airport. That is just a lot of work if you do it the other way. Like, yeah. Oh. Does anybody here? And that's the biggest problem, right? Why not? So.
I think that's.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Randy has. I must have. I think even Greenfield tried to start off with it. They had didn't get much. They said. Yeah.
Alex, can you hear us okay? All right.
Mic's on, everything. You ready, Adam? You can tell there's some trees out there they're blowing around right now too. The other night, my wife was in Dayton and she saw we were getting bad storms. She called. Everything okay? Yeah. Having dinner and the storm came in and it was done out there and I walked away. That's sunshine.
It was sunshine, yeah.
All right, ready, Adam? All right. Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. We're gonna do a roll call quickly, please.
Yes, sir. Scott Meyer? Not here. Dan Hughey?
Present.
Chris McCray here. Ed Brand? Mike Kelty here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. We'll now do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. Wonder if I could get an approval of tonight's meeting agenda? Get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes. It's like, we have two pieces of, we need to approve the minutes from the previous meeting on March 19th. Any edits or comments? If not, I'll look for a motion to approve.
I'd like to. I think I know what is on here. This Ember Coffee, line C.
Yep.
So in reading that, the wine garage took its license with it. And the coffee shop came to the wine garage, which is Ember Coffee. And they're the ones that applied for the license. Am I correct?
This is.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is that- Okay.
Yeah, they wanted to transfer their existing three-way license from the coffee shop to the wine garage that they purchased. And then they wanted that riverfront.
Yeah,
license for the coffee shop,
and the wine garage took their license with them.
presumably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
That I don't know.
And this is,
Yeah.
our approval was just to, so they can take the next steps
right,
with the
right.
state. So.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the March 19th meeting minutes as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes. Thank you. Looks like we've got two pieces of business. First is consider a facade repair grant request by Kevin Crotchfelt for painting improvements to the 10 Noel Avenue building. I know it's a very crowded room, Kevin, but mind standing up there and introduce yourself at the microphone? We'll try to make this as painless as possible.
I'm Kevin Crotchfelt with 180 Property Remodels, and Logan and Mitch Howard have hired me to get the outside of their building painted and cleaned up. And so I said, yeah, let me see whose buttons I can push to get it as cheap as
Sure.
possible for you, because I know everybody in town has been wanting to get that cleaned up for a
Yeah,
while.
I didn't realize what it looked like until the pictures came through. It's in dire need of it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and so it needs it pretty badly. So the goal would be to power wash the entire building, scrape all the fascia, get everything primed and repainted, and do
Pretty
it within
straightforward.
the next month. Yeah, it's a very straightforward project.
Is there a business in there currently, Kevin, or is there going?
There are
to be
two
one?
businesses in
Okay.
there. There's one business on the end, which is a salon,
Okay.
a hair salon, and then
Yeah,
there's
I don't
one right next
worry
to it.
about those anymore.
No, I know. Not many of us do in here.
Yeah.
Maybe, Chris.
I still care. Yeah.
I'd like to have a little.
He can literally speak for himself.
I'd like to have a little clarification now, on looking at this picture here.
Yes,
So you're doing the face and down this way.
yes.
Okay,
The entire building will get painted except for the two metal buildings on the far
Right.
western end, because you really can't paint those without it coming off at some point.
well, wait a minute, where,
I don't think.
You can't even see them
the
in these
metal
pictures.
okay, so are you gonna do the complete alley?
The complete alley, yes.
Okay, okay,
The complete alley, the complete building will be power washed, scraped where needed, primed where needed, and painted where needed.
okay.
Are you expecting to replace anything?
No, this building, it doesn't have any big, it's not like a tuck pointing issue or anything
Good.
along those lines. We might
Fascia.
have a few pieces of fascia,
Fascia boards are in good shape.
maybe a few pieces, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape because they just had the roof redone.
Oh,
You doing any of the guttering or anything, or the metal roof?
Wasn't planning on it.
Okay,
No, no. And the guttering, if we have to paint the gutter, we'll paint the gutter because that usually sticks really well.
okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
And Kevin, it looks like the low bid is from JM Paint Specialties.
Yes,
Is that who you're gonna go with, or what?
it is who I'll go with. I've used
Okay,
them.
great.
I use them for several jobs, and I kind of said, "Hey, Juan, can you help me out on this one?"
Makes it easy peasy. on
And he
this
did.
end.
Yeah, it's really straightforward for him.
I think before we approve, I think we're gonna have to do two things here. We're gonna have to approve this. And then I believe we only put enough money in the facade repair, facade grant program to cover the two from last month. So we're gonna have to
Correct.
put an additional $6,235.66 into the
Right,
facade grant program to cover.
yeah, that should be done first.
Yes, that's,
Now, my question on this is, are we gonna keep adding money each time we do this? Or are we going to put an initial fund in there and then when it runs out, we're done with the facade program or what?
I think with Scott not being here, probably one we want to address with.
Okay.
the group next time. That's a valid question.
You know, seems like every time we have a petitioner come in, we're always having to move money.
Yeah.
So,
And we are going to have conversation
Okay.
toward the end on that.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. I agree with that one too.
okay, I'll make a motion to move $6,235.66 from general fund into the
Sorry.
line item of the
Yeah,
R.
It's only half.
Yeah.
So
Huh?
we need to have.
Oh,
the
I'm
thank you,
sorry,
Mike.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, what's,
I'm gonna get my calculator out right now.
I will give it all to you.
I mean, if you're going to give it all, I'll take it.
I said it, so you just follow my lead. It'd actually be, let's just move $13,118. That'll be
What?
half. 13,177.83 if we want to get technical.
Why so much?
Well, the quote is 6,235 and we're gonna pay half.
That'd be 31.
Yeah, it'd be
31, I'm sorry,
3,000.
31,117.83.
Yes,
Yeah.
that sounds better.
33,117.80.
33,000.
No,
No.
3,000.
117.83.
117 point. How much?
83.
83.
Yep,
Okay, let's start over.
thank you.
I'll make a motion, to move $3,117.83 from general fund into the line item of the facade repair program.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now I think I need a motion to approve the facade grant for the 10 Noel Street property.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the facade grant for 10 Noel Street in Fortville for $3,117.83.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Okay, the next item is we're supposed to have a discussion and implement possible modification to facade repair program. I want to throw it out there since Scott's not here and he's our chair. I'm glad to have a discussion about it tonight, but I think I'd like to have him back before we approve any finale to it, if that's okay with you guys.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody, Mike, you wanna, did you have some thoughts on what you wanted to adjust here, or you can start there and just work our way down if you want.
So I don't have a lot of experience
Yep.
on the commission, so, I would predicate any action on how we've operated in the past. I have the same concern that Ed has.
Yeah.
If we honor number 15 under the guidelines, grant funding is a first come, first served basis. I haven't seen that.
Right.
Maybe there is a time when we're not going to grant funds because we're out of money. But in the short time I've been here, petitioner comes in and we don't have money in the fund, we move money into the
Yeah.
fund. So I don't know how applicable number 15 is. It seems to me that there's a little bit of redundancy in number 11 and number 16. If the project must be completed within 1 year of the grant being awarded, then I think that's the completion date.
Okay,
Maybe.
so we could even take, basically, I think what you're saying, Mike, at an 11, a start and completion date of no later than 1 year from the grant.
Or strike, yeah, you're right. Or strike one or the other, whichever one is more
Yeah.
important. But we have the completion date identified as must be done within 1 year of the grant being awarded. And just on this,
That's a good one. I didn't catch that one. That's a really good one.
just on the surface, it seems number 3, 4, and 5 can be number 3. Owners and lien holders cannot be delinquent on property taxes, be in bankruptcy, or be in active litigation with the town.
Yeah, that makes sense too, just to put all those in one swell swoop.
I think the rest of it makes sense if we're going to stay with all these.
I think,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I got quite a few things here, so why don't I start? The no cap for businesses. 25,000 per applicant is, seems like it should be a fair cap unless we feel it's beneficial to the TIF district. And that's kind of my view on that. I think we all are kind of think what the definition of a facade is. It's the front of the building or side that faces the public area. Okay. Now, number 7. I think this should be reworded where the funds are to be used for facade improvements and or structural issues to improve the facade.
Mhm.
And the reason I'm putting that in is there because of the Domino's Pizza. They would needed a structure base inside the building to move the air conditioners up there, which improved the facade. So in that situation, I could see where you would go inside.
So are you saying then that you'd want to strike structural needs?
Structural code requirements and parking lot repair.
Yeah, I think we need to leave the accessibility in there.
Yes, yes,
So you're saying long-term facade improvements and accessibility issues?
right.
Chris, you're in the business more than anybody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to be on a job to job basis.
Mm-hmm.
I think Domino's stretched it a little bit.
Yes.
I think we can all agree to that.
In
Um,
what aspect, the restructuring the roof to put the air conditioners up there?
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I cheated a little bit and I looked at some other facade repair programs across the country.
I cheated too then, Chris.
Oh, yeah, good, good. And the one thing that stood out was they all said exterior facade, much like what you just said, Ed. You have to see it from the public right away.
Right.
So even when it comes to roofing, if it's a sloped roof, you can see it from the sidewalk. It's eligible. If it's a flat roof, you can't see it. It's non-eligible. The air conditioning unit, the air handlers on top of the Domino's, I don't know if we'll see them or not.
Oh, that's true.
But you're not going to see the structural support inside.
We're definitely not going to see the structural support. And across the board, no interior work was ever eligible in any other municipality.
Right.
It was very, very clear. Most of those municipalities also struck out landscaping, which I believe we've helped with the dentist office, I believe,
Yeah.
in the past. And or parking lot repairs, which is clearly labeled on ours.
Yeah, that one needs to be stricken completely. So I think that am I hearing is funds are to be used only for long-term exterior facade improvements and accessibility issues?
So no code requirements?
That's where I'm wondering if we need them. I just can't, yeah.
Or I think facade sums it up.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come down.
Chad's here for somebody to glom on.
Right.
And
I agree with that.
I'm not sure if it's necessary, but a lot of these municipalities actually had a scope of work that was 3 pages long that were eligible, and then another 2 pages of non-eligible items. And I don't know if we want to go through that. Like,
You're right. All of them that I looked at had 7 to 12 pages
Wow.
of stipulations, allowed, not allowed.
right. So it'll turn into Kevin, deciphering a half a day, deciphering what's eligible when he comes to us and what's non-eligible. And I think he has, he understands the program and we understand the program. So I think a lot of it is going to come down to us making those decisions when it's presented, much like Domino's did. And in Harmony.
I think that's a good idea.
Request for comment?
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna,
Is inserted herself.
yeah, I'm gonna insert myself. Because I agree. I don't think we need all that extra. And I trust you guys to consider that, because there's always going to be an occasion. Take, for example, just like Kevin said, it's a property that people have wanted painted for a long time. So, and we had this discussion about Domino's being at the entrance of town. So it's very important that it looks the way it does. I think that if we keep a solid guideline and pretty much stick to that, there's always going to be an occasion where you guys might want to look at it differently.
Yeah.
And I don't think you want to
No.
secure
Pigeonhole
yourself to commitments that, really go outside of what we're probably going to see here. And that way you can still be able to communicate and do good for what's good for the TIF. I mean, because the better we make it look, the better it is for everybody.
Go
So,
into that list of here's what allowed and here's what.
and like,
You may also.
the guy at the bike shop, I mean, he had structural issues. He couldn't get his, unless they did the structural work, he couldn't get those doors changed out in his facility. So
Yep.
sometimes I think structural is good. The air conditioners on top always look nicer anyway. So there's always going to be an exception to it. So I think you need to try to keep it somewhat fluid,
I agree.
not as rigid.
Don't
That's
box
just-
us in,
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah. And they have the right to do that, right? I
It's at
mean,
our discretion, I think.
Yeah.
I think I read that somewhere.
And as far as the money goes, as long as you guys have the money, I don't think there's any problem with you putting it in whenever you need it. I don't think you need to set it. I mean, I know we're going to lose some money. It's coming, that's coming. It's going to put a little bit more of a restraint, but you can pick and choose what you want to do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with you adding money whenever you need it. Let's say if you want to put 50,000 in at the beginning of the year, but you use it and you want to put more and you have it to use, then don't feel bad about doing it. It shouldn't be an issue. Just add whatever you need when you need it.
Hate to see us throw in a large amount,
Right,
a larger amount, because then I think it could start a potential,
right.
feeding frenzy, so to speak.
Yeah. And I think it's good to start out with
Mhm.
like a limit, like a $25,000 limit, but you can always change that if you feel like it's necessary.
Yep.
So,
Tanya, while you're there, I have a question.
yeah.
In researching other municipalities and their facade grant program, I looked at 8 or 10 in Indiana with populations about the same size as Fortville.
Mm-hmm.
And when I requested access to the facade grant program, it came up. And I could see the stipulations that applied. I tried to pull up Fortville's and I can't. Where is it? I tried to pull it up on our website and I didn't have access to it unless I'm doing it wrong.
Adam?
Yeah, it should be on there.
I
mean, this is it. It's just these guidelines.
Right, I tried to find
I
the
think we just need to do
guideline.
one
Yeah,
right
they-
on our website.
They should be on
For
the,
him,
on the planning.
did
Right,
you find it on our website?
okay, well, we can look again to see
Yeah.
where it is, make sure it's in a more
Probably inconspicuous.
prevalent spot.
Well, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I am still not 100% loving our website because I still think it's difficult to find things and it shouldn't be that difficult,
Yeah.
but it should be on there.
But we can certainly double check.
Yeah.
It should be on the planning and building page where we've
Right there,
got,
but I haven't looked for it either, so I don't know.
yeah.
That was it's just a question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
That
Adam.
was,
Right.
thank you
Thanks,
for the
Tom.
comment.
Yeah.
Edward.
All good.
Other than that, I'm just, it's just a few things that jumped out and we've already touched on some of them that I had a question about.
Good. I guess,
Real quick, the one concern that I've heard from a couple of applicants is the 7-year rule, where we've got that you have to maintain ownership for 7 years afterwards. And I think the concern that I've heard is, well, part of the reasons we want to get the building spruced up, we do want to sell it. So one way of looking at it is, what is the program designed to achieve? If the program is designed to achieve buildings that look better in the downtown area, then if you think about it, if somebody ends up flipping the building and somebody else owns it, but the building looks good, then so be it. I think the greater concern to me would be, you wouldn't want to have government money spent on it and then they tear it down, or they rip off those improvements for some reason if they expand the building. So something to think about, how to structure that.
Well, on that point, you're taking tax money and improving a building, and the owner of it is selling it at a profit.
Which generates more tax dollars, because then it can get reassessed.
Right. And again, part of it would come down to the greater philosophy of the point of government money to begin with. And that can be split a bunch of different ways as to how people view it.
It's a good argument.
So,
I did not.
No, I did not. And I don't even, are we even policing the 7 years? How do we even know?
I did
Well,
not see a reference to it in any of them. that I
yeah.
looked at.
There may, and I'll jump in here too. There may be a couple legal issues with it as well. I mean, so along with some of the other changes here, let me dig into that as well, and maybe we come up with something, a proposal for you all at your next meeting, and when Scott's back, that'll hit that legal side of things as well. And we can talk about it then. And I don't need to, you don't need to listen to me ramble on about it
No.
now, but maybe just add that to the list and we'll visit that 7-year piece and kind of pros and cons
Yeah,
at your next
that'd be
meeting.
fine, Alex. I think my one concern, having been in local government a couple different places, is, what I don't want to see happen is we do a grant to somebody, they fix the building up and they immediately flip it within, a very short period of time. That's not what this program's made for.
Yeah, maybe 7 years is excessive, but
7 might be a little long, but I think there's got to
maybe
be some level of,
2 years.
you're not going to do this and then immediately flip it and make your profit.
Yeah. Okay. I'll dig into that and
Thanks, Alex.
be prepared to hit that piece as well as any of the other ones. The next meeting.
One thing I
Also, one other quick thing from a staff perspective is I've got our administrative assistant, Sarah Waldron's, putting together an application so that we can have something a little bit more formal. It won't be a complicated application, maybe just a couple pages that has contact info, a place where you can put scope of work.
If we don't have that now, all of them that I looked at did have.
Right. I think well, I can tell you this, that at the onset of this program, I want to say maybe 4 years ago or so, is, I modeled it after the state because we got the facade repair funding from the state to do Fox Garden and the VFW. And I can tell you that program, there was greater numbers that were involved, but there was a ton of red tape. So the idea was, we have a decent pot of money here locally. Why don't we create our own local program and get rid of as much of the red tape as possible? So in my estimation, you want to strike the right balance between absolutely being accountable to making sure that the taxpayers' money is being used wisely, but you don't get yourself into a bureaucratic, unnecessary mess. So I would say there are probably towns out there that have 12 pages of rules and give you $500 at the end of the day. And I don't think that, I don't think those are impactful ways of doing it. But to that end, my perspective would be, having things like an application that's standardized, we can absolutely do that. And shoring up some of the rules so that they're more clear and there's more accountability.
We don't have somebody come in with a wash list of all things they want to do.
Yeah.
So let me go. Chris, did you have anything else?
Yeah, one thing to add. So no, Tanya, I did not see anything about 7 years consistently across the board in other municipalities. But what I did see consistently was, and this covers a little bit of what Adam said, what we don't want to see is somebody get this grant, do the work, the building gets torn down if they're in another set of hands a few years later. What I did consistently see, I think that might prevent that, was each address was only eligible for so many years. So if you did work at 10 Noel, no one can ever get grant money for another 3 years for that same address, if that makes sense. So it would prevent somebody from coming in and undoing something that we had already pledged money for.
Interesting way
Correct.
of doing it. Yeah.
Alex, is that tracking for you on how we might word that? Okay. Really good research, guys. That's awesome. You went out and looked at the other ones. So I guess the one thing I heard was discussion of a cap per business. And I don't know, I guess I know our chair was not in favor of a cap, but can we put some type of language there? No more than 25,000 per business, and put a caveat in there up to the board's.
I will say that most
discretion?
of my research found a cap in almost every, and you might have seen that too. And most of them were very, very low. I'm
Every
saying
one of them.
3,000, 4,000, 5,000.
Oh,
None of them went over 5,000. that I
Yeah,
saw.
that's. Yeah,
Correct.
that's,
Have you guys run out of money? Have you had too many requests? We're not running out.
Now, as
Well,
long as the general.
we've run out of money that we put in there.
We're currently out of
Put
money.
more in.
Yes.
We got a line item. And that line item right now is zero.
Okay.
So that's why we had to move the money from general fund to the line item to cover your request. So right now for our next meeting, we have no money.
So let me go through it. I think we talked about to make sure I'm capturing it all and give Alex and Adam a little bit of a roadmap for what we're looking for. Do we want to explore some language on a cap, or what do we want to do there?
I'd suggest we wait
Okay, that's fine for Scott to get back.
for Scott
That's fine
to
by
weigh
me.
in on it, yeah.
And then,
Because I know I
yes,
think he's kind of passionate on that.
yes, you are correct.
From what I understood.
And then what I heard was we want to combine 3, 4, and 5 into just one line item. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. We want to carve out, we now want number 7 to say funds are only to be used for long-term exterior facade improvements and accessibility issues, and carve everything else out. Is that correct? Or we think we're being too limiting there? I think we can live with that. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then I think the other one, Mike, you had the valid one, is 11 and 16. Do we just make 11 a start and completion date of no later than 1 year more later than 1 year, of 1 year must, of the start and completion date of the project of no later than 1 year must be given.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ed, we cover everything else? You got anything else?
No, I think, my points were covered.
And then I think what I heard from you, Alex, is you want to look at from the legal side on the 7-year window and so forth. And then we're just gonna, for now, table the no cap and leave that up to when we have the whole group here
Yeah.
for next time. So I think what I'd like to see is a draft, if we can see a draft with these comments we've made,
okay.
along with Alex's input on the 7 years. Does that make sense? Sure, but you gotta get up to the microphone now.
No, so I owned the Libby's Ice Cream Building also,
Yes.
and you guys, I mean, it was a huge help because that was a massive undertaking,
Yeah.
because that building was pretty much falling down. So not putting a cap on it is kind of nice, but I also understand where you're coming from. But I
Yeah,
just wanted to say, from my point of view, it was significant help because that was a lot of work.
And I think that's where we gotta be careful. We're gonna put a cap. We also have to give ourselves at least the chance, if we
Right.
see something that we know is gonna benefit everybody, we want to be able to go past that.
And I think another thing that needs to be on here is we take the lowest bid instead of changing the rules every meeting.
Don't we always take the middle bid?
That's
Most of the time, you're in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I thought we
Yeah.
took the middle bid on.
Yeah, right.
Is that what you remember, Chris? Because I don't, last month we went through and did the middles, but I don't remember us doing that on a regular basis, but I'm still relatively new.
Yeah, but you just accepted the lowest bid, correct?
Yeah.
Right. But sometimes the low bid's way off.
Yeah, it's a throw.
Yeah. And it's not going to include
So you think
everything.
gotta look at each bid and see which one would be
Yeah.
appropriate.
Well, somebody like Kevin that knows his business and knows he's gonna be able to get it done for that.
And most of the time, the petitioner knows
Yeah.
who they have what their gut feeling, what their gut tells them to do. So whether it's a past relationship in this case, and so I think we're going to always rely on the petitioner a little bit, but I don't know that we've ever accepted the highest bid.
No,
Or
no.
I
I
don't
wouldn't
think
think
we
we
ever
would.
will.
I've seen lowest and then I saw this middle calculation the last.
And I've, a lot of times we've asked the petitioner
Yes.
what one he was comfortable with.
Correct.
And what I'm hearing is we want to leave it kind of open-ended right now.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, I'm okay with that also.
okay.
So I'll let Adam and Alex work on, the redraft of this, and that's something we get maybe. I'd rather get it a little more in advance of the board meeting so we can look at it again if we could, Adam and Alex. And I'll call and give Scott an update.
Yeah, I think the other thing about the 7-year rule, where that partially comes from, I think, is sometimes if you're doing historic renovation and state money is being used for that, there's an easement that's granted in favor of the municipality so that you can't basically touch that work. And that's on a historic building situation. So, but again, what I would advise is for whatever you do, the less bureaucracy, the better.
I think,
Oh, I agree with
I
that.
think we've accomplished that.
Yeah.
We haven't made it any more difficult. I think we just, refined things and maybe made it a little more direct, so there's not as much ways to interpret things.
Yeah, this is a learning experience
Yep.
for,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
we'll look forward to getting a redraft from you all.
Okay.
And then, do I have any other business to come?
I have none.
None here. So next is review of the financials.
I looked at them and I would make a motion that we accept the financials as written.
Okay. And is this I always get confused, is the financial the longer sheet? Is that correct, Adam? Okay.
Yeah.
And I do have one comment on the financials then. And it should have jumped out at me before, but I just looked at the 2 new facade grants we had on there for the bicycle garage and Domino's, but right above it is the Carnegie Library, which was granted in December of 2023. And I talked to Adam, I think Adam sent, at least responded back to me, is when we granted this $20,000 to the Carnegie Library, the 1 year must be completed in 1 year was not in our guidelines. So I think what I'd like to request is have whoever's in charge of the project there maybe come and give us an update on the project and give us an idea of when they expect to use it. But I think the other thing is, my guess is whatever quotes they got in 2023 are not going to be very valid anymore. And we'll see whether they want to, resubmit once they get closer to doing that, because everything's going to change. I think we need to at least have that discussion. I don't want to claw anything back now, but I think we need to have that discussion with them. That's fair.
Wouldn't it be a good idea to have the date it was issued on this sheet?
Well, I think that's the date pledges when we encumbered it, isn't it? December 23.
Mhm. Seems to make sense.
Where you see that?
Look at Carnegie. There's the dollar amount in there. It says date pledged.
Oh, okay, I'm
Yep,
sorry.
no worries.
Yeah, all right.
So, thank you, Adam. And let's see what else we got here.
I got a motion on the floor.
Oh, that's right.
I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Hi.
I,
Aye. The all important approval of the invoices. Believe we have 2. Mike Myers Sign Art Studio. A little bit of work on our mural, which the latest renderings I thought looked really good. And an ad with the Daily Reporter.
I'll make a motion that we pay the invoices as that's on the agenda.
Here's a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes. I'll now move to the important stage of public comments. You got anything back in the back? Okay, all right.
By the way, thank you for coming.
Yes. Any staff comments? Additional staff comment? All right.
Nope, nothing for me unless you have questions or anything.
Any additional board comments? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, 7:09 PM.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
All right. Thanks, gentlemen.
All right.
Thanks, Alex.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
That was a good discussion on facade.
Yeah.